We have to remember that we're victims of crimes. We are victims. While I don't typically like to call myself or others victims, something terrible had happened, and we need to honor that when you're going through that process. And I wish sometimes, in a lot of the work that we do, that law enforcement officers were a little bit more understanding, because a lot of times it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think sometimes they need a little bit more sensitivity in dealing with survivors of these types of crimes. I think that the deposition is a terrible, horrible, grueling process where you're sitting in a room basically with the state attorney, the defense attorney, a stenographer, and if you're lucky enough, a counselor, your counselor, and you're sitting and you're being grilled. Well, why did this happen this way? Did this really happen this way? Didn't you want this? Why didn't you stop this? Am I the one who's on trial here? Are you creating doubt in my mind so I can go back and think about why this happened in this way? And remember, I still am not far enough along in my counseling to know where I am. I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish it wasn't like me on trial. And I felt that that's what it was. I was defending my mom. I was defending my dad. I was defending my family and trying to protect and keep try and just get my truth out there wasn't what it was about. It was about fighting to do what was right. And at the beginning, I wasn't sure, and it was after time and after the process, you get angry, you get harder, you go through the deposition, and you know kind of what they're gonna ask and what they're gonna say and what they're gonna throw at you, and you get tougher, and you get, I want to say, hardened, angry, and you want to go, and you want to fight, and you want to get it done. And that's not the same for everybody. But I know for me, for us, it was, I got to keep going because I'm not going to let them beat me. And I think that's really what it became about. I'm not going to let her get me one last time.
Until you've been in that, you really don't know how important it is or how insensitive it appears to be to a victim, and in particular a childhood victim of sexual abuse. It's really very unnerving. They won't take the cases and bring a case unless there's physical evidence. Well, we all know that there are people who wait lengthy periods of time to tell. Still going to make the case, but you got to give people the opportunity to make the case by bringing the case. I think that unfortunately the system is an intimidating system. I think it's important for the victims, I think it's important for their families to know that society sees them as courageous the moment they make the phone call, the moment they make the disclosure. They're courageous at that point. I think that if you don't understand the system and you don't have the knowledge of the system, I think it's easy to be discouraged. I mean, part of the value of what you're doing is to sort of break that down for people so that they understand. I think one of the reasons why I take the time that I do with others is because I understand that the system is intimidating. I think the system can be friendlier. I think one of the reasons why we believe there's a fight that really hasn't taken place in Washington, D.C. is because we understand that the lack of uniformity from state to state in how we deal with crimes against children and how we deal with sexual assault in general is so disjointed that we need a greater national framework.